Over a dozen people in Boone County are at risk of having their homes taken away from them to make way for improvements to Frogtown Road. Brady Williams joins us live from Union, where residents met with state transportation officials to discuss the proposed project.
Yeah, so time was that Frogtown Road was just a small dirt road in a rural area, but over time, Kenton County has grown income subdivisions. That means there is more traffic out here. They need to improve the road, but part of that process could mean that many of these people lose their homes.
Sickening. It makes you sick to your stomach. These are not just houses, these are people's homes.
The stakes were high for residents of Frogtown Road as plans were presented for potential improvement. In both options brought forth by the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Gene and Matt Paul's house was in the way.
And we don't want to move. We thought we were going to be there forever.
Project leaders, including Chief Engineer Bob Yeager, were there to hear feedback from residents. He says 50 years ago, Frogtown Road was a gravel back road, but newer subdivisions have pushed traffic past what the pavement can handle.
The road has changed its use. So we were tasked by the legislature to look at what it would take to improve the road.
Ken DeMaria was there 50 years ago to see those gravel roads.
They're taking our property for people that just moved in 3 years ago or 5 years ago, whatever, and then displacing us, people that have been there no longer.
He says his property could potentially be seized.
I'm going to be 80 years old in 4 years. Where do I go? I got to have my house is paid off, and I got to move someplace else and pay 8% interest. Where do I go?
Yeager says they're working to minimize the impact on neighbors. He says those who have property that needs to be taken will be compensated fairly, but someone like Ken may not necessarily need to move altogether.
We've had a number of people who have moved their house. If you've got a deep lot, some of these people have a couple of acres and they want to hire somebody to move, to build a new foundation and actually roll the house back 50 feet out of the way, they could do that.
Folks like Ken say they worry that no matter what, their community will no longer be home for some of their neighbors.
I've grown close to all these neighbors, and we're all affected. And it's just wrong that they're taking this all away from all of us.
So this is still planning stages. They were there to discuss what they thought was better between a 2-lane solution versus 3 lanes for this road. Now, all of that process of deciding that could take up to 16 months, we're told. Yeager says all of this from then on out could take as long as 10 years before anyone actually comes knocking. So he said folks who live here live as normal. He says even make improvements on the house because that's just going to drive up your property value, which will ultimately help you if they do indeed come knocking out here. Live in Union with photojournalist Savannah Tyree, Brady Williams, Fox 19 Now.